Holdings is known for their luxurious apartment complexes in Sri Lanka, and they're bringing exactly that to Galle. And we are at the Galle Fort. This is the Dutch Reformed Church, where we're kicking off the launch for Fairway Galle. And it starts off with, in fact, a carol service which is taking place here at the church. And we from Out and About are not only in Colombo, of course, we are right around the country. And let's check out what's taking place here.
Developments till now have been always in Rajagiriya. First with Fairway, Fairmount, Sky Gardens, which was actually launched and handed over last week to the homeowners, and Elements that is currently under construction. When we were trying to decide where we should expand our developments to outside of Colombo, Galle was the obvious choice. With the heritage, the rich culture, and I think most importantly the unique lifestyle that you find in Galle made it a very easy choice for all of us. And today, our choice in selecting Galle as the first outstation city to develop apartments in is reinforced by the fact that before we even have our official launch, which is tomorrow, we have already sold more than half of the apartments that are available for sale in this development.
The new project courtesy Fairway Holdings. We have with us the COO, who is Mr. Shivanka D'Souza. Thank you so much for being part of Out and About.
Yeah, thank you very much for being here with us.
It certainly has been a very interesting day. You started off with a carol service, and from there we moved on to the launch. And this is the first time that Fairway Holdings has moved out of Colombo, your safe zone, so to speak. Why is that?
Well, actually it is not the safe zone as such, but it is just that we realized that there was a lot of demand in Colombo, and Rajagiriya we've had a lot of properties that we wanted to develop, and then having almost exhausted the properties that we had in Rajagiriya, we had to make a decision to go to a new city. Plus, we also wanted to go down to a second tier, in reaching the other cities outside of Colombo. So that's the reason. So we looked around, and Galle was obvious choice, because of its heritage, because of its lifestyle. So this is the first step, I believe, of Fairway to step outside from Colombo.
And speaking of your projects, you recently also unveiled another project of yours.
That is right. That is called The Elements. We've also just finished Sky Gardens, which was our third project. Elements would be our fourth project, and it will be completed in 2017. And Galle is the first project outside. Outside of this, we also are developing currently a city hotel in the center of Colombo, just behind the Dutch Hospital, which will be a Fairway City Hotel. And first time that you would have developed a hotel as well outside of the apartments.
So when it comes to planning something like this, it's no easy task. You're talking about multiple apartments. How long is the whole process of getting something like this off the ground?
Actually, in the whole planning process, there's one person who's most important, and that is our chairman, Hemagadi Alvis. Actually, he has the vision and he has all the ideas of what needs to happen. And all of us around him, we just make it happen at the end of the day. So he's the visionary. He's the one who sits and dreams about, where we can go and what we can do. And he takes the time to personally engage with the homeowners. So by doing that, he has gathered a tremendous amount of information and knowledge, which we put to use. One thing that we do continuously is that we try to introduce something for the first time. For example, in Sky Gardens, we have potable water. Right? We also have what we call UPVC double glazed windows
for the first time in Sri Lanka.
Could you maybe expand on what that exactly is? I'm a little lost though. Sorry.
What happens is that you have timber, then you have aluminium, and then the next product that was introduced was UPVC. UPVC is a plasticized component. It has a lot of advantages in saving energy, basically, by making sure that there's no heat transmission, water leakage or air leakage, and sound. It makes it also soundproof. So
that's fantastic, because especially in my room it's like really loud, like music. I'm serious.
If you would have double glazed UPVC windows, you'll keep the music out.
Fantastic.
To you, yes, that's right. Yeah. So like I said, yes. I mean, the whole thing starts with our chairman Hemaka, coming with the concept, and all of us sitting around a table and saying, okay, how best are we going to take it forward? And we all contribute towards it, and then this is the fruition of one of them.
In every organization, you have the visionary, and then of course the person who will execute it. Then you have the person who's going to be stressing out about making sure that the visionary gets what he wants. And that is none other than, in this case, Mr. Prasanth Liyanage, who is the finance director of Fairway Holdings. So welcome to Out and About. And could you just tell us a little bit about your stake in this operation?
Thank you very much. It's really nice to be here, and thank you guys for being here. From a finance point of view, I think Shivanka said most of the operational and other areas about our apartments. From a finance point of view, we have always done very well for our homeowners. Starting from Fairways to Fairmount to Sky Gardens, we've all seen our homeowners making a lot of money, so to say, in terms of rental value and also capital appreciation if they wanted to sell. In terms of capital appreciation, I think this Gaul project, the first one, like Shivanka said, we launched out of Colombo, is going to be an absolute winner. We've sold more than half of the apartments already, out of the 240. And I'm very, very sure that every one of these will be a winner in whichever they want to encash it or when they want to retain it. It's one of those projects that it's a really good financial option and a good investment.
So something of this nature, when it comes to, of course, making an investment, roughly around how much are we looking at from like a starting to the highest point, if you just take like a full range bracket for a prospective investor or homeowner?
It's like this. We have 2 and 3 bedroom apartments here. We start at around 13 million, as low as 13 million for a fantastic spec, I must say. And it goes up based on the flow and whether it's a 2 bedroom or a 3 bedroom. And also, I probably want to tell you about the payment plan, which you pay 100,000 rupees at booking, 10% of the value during the first month. The last 10% would be at handover, and the balance 80% you would pay along the construction time frame. So you don't have to upfront everything at once. While the construction is going on, you get the option of paying for it. So which gives a lot of flexibility and a lot of less headaches, I would say, for potential homeowners.
Yeah, I'd actually agree with that system, that plan, because especially in this day and age, as much as people like to invest, they always want to make sure that their cash flow in itself is still sufficient and that they don't have to pay the entire thing up front. On a personal note, though, how stressed out were you about the whole thing?
Frankly speaking, not much.
Oh.
Because
I was trying to get some dirt. Okay.
This is a winner project. It's one of those things. I had a bit of stress. Everybody has some stress when you work. But this one, we brainstormed such a lot, considered all the pros and cons. But this one was a winner from long before we launched it. So this is one of the less stressful projects for me.
Out and About on MTV Sports. You were there from the very beginning of today's event, which started off as a carol service at the Dutch Reformed Church. So could you maybe share a little bit of your experience there?
Well, that was excellent. I must say fantastic. As a man from Gaul, representative of people of Gaul, we have to have these type of events in Gaul. It's the second time this choir displayed in the same church. We most welcome that event in Galle.
And from that event led up to the launch of Fairway Galle, which is a new luxury apartment complex within the Galle. First time for the company itself. So what do you think of such a project taking place in this area?
Well, Galle is a place in Sri Lanka now. Everyone is moving into Galle. We welcome Fairways. We welcome Fairways luxury residencies to Galle because everyone is eyeing to invest in Galle, live in Galle, live in style in Galle. So it's, I believe, a massive way forward for people of Galle, and also if we take the industry, real estate, property industry in Sri Lanka, it's a massive leap forward.
And indeed, especially as Mr. Virat Kohli said, there's a lot of things which are taking place in Galle. You have so many events within the southern area itself. So much of things to look forward to as well in the future.
Certainly. The Galle is now connected through highway with Colombo within 1 hour. And Galle is the place for the port, tourism port. Galle is the place with best beaches. Galle is the place probably in time to come with best nightlife. Galle is the place for enjoyment and complacent stay. Galle is the place for cultural heritage. Galle I see as the place for anyone to stay in Sri Lanka and in Asia.
Thank you very much, Mr. Virat Kohli. Wish you all the very best for...
We most welcome MTV Sports to be in Galle.
Thank you very much, because we certainly enjoyed our drive here as well. And also wish you all the very best for the future, and Merry Christmas to you.
Certainly. I wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy and Prosperous New Year on behalf of people of Galle.
Project in Galle, there was a lot of things which took place, especially with the planning and of course the understanding of Galle itself. And one of the people who has contributed in making sure that this is a success in its own right is Juliet, who is also an accomplished author who has written many books on Galle and in Sri Lanka as a whole. Plus, she's a neighbor to Kumar Sangakkara.
I am. And you can all pop over and sit on my balcony with your binoculars. The fort is absolutely amazing. It's over 400 years old. We've got 80 extraordinary characters. Sangakkara is only one of many amazing people who reside within the fort. We have all religions, all age groups, and all sorts of people doing everything from law to designing to being a mango cart owner for 5 generations. So when you wander through the old streets of Fort, you're really stepping back in time to another world. For example, when I got married, I was given my weight in gold. I'm obviously clearly worth that. And also, my husband had 100 lashes because he'd had a girlfriend before. You're quite right, too. So on our wedding day, to atone for his sins, he had to cleanse himself so that he was good enough to marry me. So one of the joys about the fort is not just the culture, but the fact they've kept their traditions. And it's tradition that brings people to the fort, because people there are so full of warmth. You go around the streets, people ask you for tea, they cook you amazing rice and curry, they tell you about spices, why they're good for your health, why cinnamon was more valuable than gold. They show you the treasure that's hidden out in the bay, because we have lots of shipwrecks, so you can go diving there. You can go on bicycles through the old streets, you can find out our secrets. You can also find our hidden tunnels and caves. And there are all sorts of things if you want to learn how to cook. We get lots of Sri Lankan girls coming from Colombo who only make noodles. And guess what? It's the English girl who teaches them how to cook Sri Lankan.
And pasta.
And pasta. Yeah, no,
Where did that come from?
Well, actually, that came from the Romans. And the Silk Route of the sea still is the main route that passes Gaul.
That was actually a rhetorical question. But as you can see, she knows what she's talking about. That, you know what? That comes to the next question. I'm sure you'll be like, how does she know all this? Because of course you'll be like, she is a foreigner. But what made you fall in love and stay, apart from of course falling in love, but...
I didn't. They gave me this magic tea, which is a love potion. In the south, they use witchcraft. And I didn't even like my husband, who's Sri Lankan, but he put stuff in my tea, which the day I got married, I knew what had happened because he said, don't drink tea anywhere else, at any time, with anyone. And then I knew I'd had a love potion put in, a bit like Midsummer Night's Dream, which is probably where Shakespeare got the idea from, trading with the ports. But the amazing thing about Gaul Fort was, at the height of trade, it was the greatest city in the world in terms of its position. It's halfway in the middle of the world. And whenever people visit me, I go, you are in the greatest world centre, because we're really central to everything that goes on. So although the Civil War changed everything, what's exciting today is Gaul's having a renaissance. And if you're not part of that, you're out in the cold, you're nobody. That's like not being part of New York. And interestingly, when New York was New Amsterdam, Gaul was tropical Amsterdam. So, you know, it's interesting how New York's become such a great city, and Gaul is just starting, and you're at a tipping point, and you want to be part of that tipping point.
You know, it's exciting as to what you've said, and I'm sure that a lot of us are actually looking forward to the development and the prospects of which Gaul can offer, not only to someone who visits the country, but of course also to Sri Lankans ourselves, and enjoy ourselves, apart from of course maybe just the beach and the sun, and of course the fantastic things.
The old city itself. And also we've got music, we've got drummers. The thing is, people often think about the south, the sand and the sea, but actually Gaul is historically got over 160 historical sites besides the fort. So you've got lots of old houses, amazing temples, extraordinary architecture, unknown buildings that people still wonder, was King Solomon really here? Did he come here to get the gems from the Queen of Sheba, or he wooed her? And what else was going on here? So lots of things are being dug up now. And when you go out the old fort gates, there are many, many sites. China Garden, for example, there are people left over from the Chinese. So 1,000 years ago, the Chinese were trading here. There are remnants of the Moors because they were trading here 800 years ago. So it's fascinating that woven through the different back streets of modern Gaul, there's some very old historic buildings like Atupatu on Lower Dixon Street. And when you go there, you realise the depth of history here. And you want to be part of it because here we have music, we have culture, and we have the beaches, and we have amazing people who've been here for generations. So we don't even have crime. If you go in the fort, one of the great things is people don't worry about wearing their gold. They don't worry about walking home late at night with their children because nobody will hurt them. And in the 21st century, how fantastic to be in a place where you're 100% safe.
Communal harmony.
Communal harmony, exactly. The people on my street besides Sangakkara have lived on that street for 7, 8, 10 generations. And one of the reasons Kumar Sangakkara decided to buy there is because of the history, because of the generations of families there, because of that amazing wall that you look out that's completely 360 degrees with only 2 exit points and makes you feel like you're safe, you're back in another world. It's very mystical.
Juliet, from what I gather, probably if we are to go on about Gaul, we'll actually have to have a special out and about just in Gaul, which I think would not be such a bad idea. Yes, you know what? We should actually do that sometime.
The voodoo and the black magic. I will show you the secret tunnels where you can have dangerous liaisons.
Okay, you know what? This is very exciting. You know what? I unfortunately don't have my Indiana Jones kit today, so maybe on another day I'll certainly make sure that I come back and we will certainly, maybe just maybe get it here on MTV Sport. that's it from us here at the launch of Fairway Golf, which is their first project out of Colombo. Certainly very exciting to see what is going to be coming up here, and of course the development of luxury apartments within this region. It's the season to be jolly, they say, and we are at the Cinnamon Lakeside to witness the longest Yule log in Sri Lanka. 60 feet is what they're calling it, and we are here to witness it and also maybe try out a little bit of it. So let's have a look. Consider about wanting to do a 60-foot Yule log, but then to meet this 60-foot feat, so to speak, it is these three gentlemen and this entire team which is there with them. We have with us Mr. Malcolm, along with also the head chef and the head pastry chef as well. Gentlemen, how did all this come about for you?
Well, actually, with all due respect to the general manager, Mr. Dermot Gale, brought this idea basically, and of course with executive chef Kapila, Chef Niranjan, and also the second in command for the pastry chef who came up and then came up with this great idea along with the decorations and the longer showcase and 100 kilos.
So how long did it take you to actually make this?
Actually, we planned from last 2 months. Then like 1 week we did a mise en place. Then like last 48 hours we did like my team, like continuously we worked with this. Like now only we finished like 11:30 we finished.
Okay, so the 2 months of planning, what goes there for that planning process?
Because how to arrange, how we did the, like how we do the setup and the way it's set up, and our GM, he's the one plan everything according to the what we have to do. Then his command, we did the right things, and at the end of the day we success nicely the Yule log.
And when you first heard that your general manager wanted to do such a thing, what came into your head?
Actually, we are very excited inside the kitchen. Our team was very excited about that. Then finally we thought we made a plan, as the Chef Niranjan said. So we made a plan. Then after that we go through that, and we done all the mise en place, what he said, the same story. So after that become a success, and we have a lot of plans to do within few days. I mean the seasonal time in the 24th, 25th and 31st. So we have a lot of things to do, and this is the days actually for us to do the lot of things to and changes and the professional ways to do, and the more cooking things, more new cooking techniques we are using for these days actually.
Yeah, actually that was the next thing which I wanted to ask you, especially this being the season. You have so many customers coming in and out. There's so many other things when it comes to Christmas specials, to others which you'll be having, which you'll be making, cooking, baking, to the works in the kitchen. How did all of this like work as one synchronized unit, so to speak?
Actually, we have different the sections. So we work on with that. So I mean, the especially pastry kitchen, they have the certain areas to cover the food items. I mean, so the hot food also same thing. I mean, we have a different kind of kitchens inside, like Chinese, Thai, and all of them are involving with this to get the success actually as a team. So that's our plan, and the mostly in 24th and 25th we have a massive buffet, like an international buffet in dining room. And the 31st also that's the same. We are plan to do something different what we done the last year. So, and we are trying to do the best in city actually.
Fantastic. Congratulations, gentlemen, on this amazing feat. 60 feet, in fact, and it is the longest Yule log in Sri Lanka. Behind the concept of the 60-foot Yule, it is the general manager of Cinnamon Lakeside Hotel. It is Mr. Dumont. Pleasure having you on the show, and season's greetings to you.
Same to you, thank you.
60 foot. Yes. What made you think of such a terrific sugar rush?
I actually wanted it to be much bigger than 60 foot actually, but no, it was mainly just to create some excitement really, for our guests at Cinnamon Lakeside, and also for our pastry team.
Yeah.
It's not a new faces within the hotel, our team, so everybody came together just to create this, fantastic piece of Christmas Yule log.
So how long did you want it to be originally?
I think it was about 80 originally.
Did you run out of space? Yeah, I think we didn't have 20.
But actually, the pastry chef has said to me that it could have been up to 100 feet actually. So maybe next year we'll go that little step longer.
That's 40 feet more. Whoa. And 2 months of planning have also been put into this as well.
Yeah, the pastry guys are basically working on the recipe, working at the size, portion, getting the price right, just so it would, we could sell it very well, as it is basically moving very well at the moment, So.
Yeah, out of the 60, we have roughly about 17 left, 17-ish left. Okay,
that's good sales for the day. Yeah.
All right, so the general manager is extremely happy with that. So what can we look forward to? Actually, the question which I wanted to ask you was, apart from the Yule, was there anything else that you maybe thought of creating, but then this is what you finally decided?
It's just the Yule log really was the first thing that came to my mind, but next year we're going to do something bigger and better for next.
Vertical?
Could be, yes, yeah.
Rather than horizontal?
Well, I won't give too much away, yeah.
All right, so I'll leave it to the general manager and his super staff to maybe give something even more fascinating and maybe something a bit more crazier next year around. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine. Merry Christmas. Well, it always is a great thing to enjoy what you see, especially when it comes to a Yule log. I always forget to say the word log there. This actually looks really fascinating. And you got to hand it to the chefs. They've actually done a really very well detailed Yule log. You have the axes, then you have the reindeer, of course the Christmas greetings, and all that's missing is a knife. Where is that knife? And we can try it out. So it is the moment of truth. We're going to try out the Yule log. And as you can see, I got my coffee, of course. I love my coffee. More sweets. I'm probably going to be a diabetic after this evening. But it is Christmas after all. So let's try it out, shall we? This is delicious. And the best part is, it's not as sweet as what I thought it might actually be. It's just right. And you have to give it to Cinnamon Lakeside for having such a beautiful Yule log, which is made 60 feet. Again, I can't seem to get over the fact that it's 60 feet. I'm probably going to dig in a little bit more onto this while I actually have this conversation with you. But I gotta say that this is absolutely amazing. Yep. This, without a doubt, takes it. One of the best things which I've had this season so far. Team Out and About as a show, we have gone the distance. We have been to the skies, so to speak. We have been to the beach, and we have been to endless fashion shows. But this, however, is a first. Say hi to my bull, so to speak. That sounded so wrong. But where is this at? It is at Tweet Up Sri Lanka. It is the 5th annual gathering, and we are here to check it out and to bring you what's happening. Maybe you yourself are on Twitter. Maybe you missed out on this event. Either way, we are going to be giving it to you. And of course, find us on our Facebook to Twitter. Official of Chase is my own handle. And there's some paintballing which is taking place here too. There's a prize giving right now with some of the fancy tweets which everyone has sent out and much, much more. All right, so I'm going to get off this thing before it decides to, I don't know, I just don't trust it. Ah! Of Tweet Up SL 5. Yep. I got that one right, yeah? Okay, super. So it's Gihan who is with us. Hi, mate. Welcome to the show.
Hi there. Thanks for the coverage for Tweet Up SL 5 and being a partner for the event.
Thank you, mate. Of course, it's been absolute fantastic. We actually tried out the bull. I think I feel I've hurt myself. Ow. Let's not get to that. But can you tell us what happened this evening?
All right, yeah. So we've had, over the last few months, we've had a number of tweets encouraging all the Sri Lankan Twitter users to gather together. It's the annual event. It has been happening since August 27, 2010, and this is the 5th installment of it. So this time we've had actually the biggest turnover and also the biggest number of registrations. And we've had a carnival type atmosphere. Starting with just 80 odd for the first event, we've had close to 1,000 attending today. So that's been the progress of Tweet Up SL5.
So a lot of people in Sri Lanka, Twitter is not something which, it's always the second network which someone would get on. I'm just saying in the general sense of it. I'm not talking about yourself because I'm sure you're a Twitterholic, but Facebook and then Twitter. How is the Twitter users growing in Sri Lanka? Because you are very actively involved with such social gatherings.
I've actually been on Twitter since 2009. So we've had, even then, we've had, say about 2,000 active kind of users. But now we've grown to, I don't know, close to 60 to 80,000 active users. When we say active, the very Twitterholics are always say about 10,000 kind of a thing. So it has been really, as you say, we can compare it with other social networks. Facebook, Twitter, then Google+, Instagram, all those. And, Facebook is the primary for everyone because everyone is connected to it. But Twitter has become now more popular because you are more able to engage with people you don't know. That's the beauty of Twitter. Whereas Facebook, you can only have your close friends or friends that you think are friends or people who you think are friends. Whereas Twitter, you can follow anybody. It doesn't matter whether they follow you back. You can still get their updates. And that's the beauty of Twitter. And that's where, the controversies happens, the good things happen. It all boils down to, interesting stuff. And more importantly, I feel that more than Facebook, Twitter is more like a newsbreaker. Because you can get information from people unknown to you. You can follow a trend. That's where the hashtags come in. So there's a whole beauty and a science to the Twitter. And I feel that, that's where I feel that over the next few years, we might, get much more hype than we are already, anticipating now. I'm talking very enthusiastic about Twitter Pixel 5, but maybe from a year from now, I might say, hey, this Twitter Pixel 5 was small compared to Twitter Pixel 6. So that's the beauty of Twitter and the growth in the Sri Lankan concept as well.
All right, so one last thing which I'm going to be asking you though. How many tweets a day? How many do you send out a day?
I would say when I'm not working, maybe about 200.
When you are working, should I expect more?
Since I have my own company, I have the freedom, but at the same time...
In other words, 80% of the time it's 200 a day. Man!
I mean, it can get addictive. That's something that I'm very particular about as well. I mean, I myself don't use a smartphone when I'm working and all that, so I know my weakness. I know I'm a Twitter addict. So I make sure that when I'm working, I have all those things out of my, reach. So
that is a good thing.
One warning or one caution I could say is, it's a good platform, but everything has good and bad. So as long as you can go, take the middle path, so to say, you should be fine. But it's like any good thing or bad thing, you can get addicted. So just just a caution, as you say.
More a disclaimer. So we have yet another Twitterholic with us who's desperately trying to hide her handle, which is over here, I think, with from the mother. That's the best part. Mom's on Twitter, huh?
Yes, she is.
Oh, hi, Desiree. That is her name, by the way.
Hi, Chase.
So, is this your first ever tweet up, or you've come for the ones prior to this?
Actually, this is my first time. I have missed it quite a few times before. In fact, I bunked lectures for this, so I don't even regret it.
I just hope that your lecturer is now watching this for your sake.
I hope so too, because I haven't made it to many classes.
Oh, great. This suddenly became very depressing. But on a bright side, so what were you up to here today yourself? What was your experience?
Actually, I was comparing now and then, and it has been actually one of the greatest experiences ever, because this is my first time comparing an event. And also I met so many new people, and the people who I've been tweeting to randomly, all these strangers on Twitter. And it has been actually really great. I met so many friends.
Alright, so did you try the bull thing which we have here?
Actually, I wanted to, but then no, I didn't. I just saw people flying all over, so...
Yeah, I flew over as well. Ouch, it was painful.
If the guys couldn't handle it, then definitely I couldn't, so... Nah.
Oh, sexist much. Okay, so apart from that, there has also been a lot of other things. They had the paintballing and much more. So any of those things you tried out as well?
I didn't try any of the activities much, but all I did was eating.
So, eating, and I'm guessing finally meeting a lot of people. I guess that's the thing, right? You finally meet, hey, this is you! And you recognize each person by their handle.
And most of these people were coming randomly. They're like, oh, let's take a selfie. And I'm like, okay, who are you? And they're like, oh, I'm at this. And I'm like, oh, fine, okay.
So so there you have it. How many tweets do you send out a day, roughly?
Now that I've started working, not much. But then if I do have free time on my hands, I send about 30 to 50 tweets a day.
Okay, I expected worse. But on an average day when you weren't working, 300?
I used to do 150.
150.
That includes everything oh, I woke up, oh, I had tea, oh, I had this, oh, I did that. So yes. Okay.
Right. But thank you, Desiree. Well, unfortunately, I think your handle eventually got seen. Sorry, it's not my fault. From SL Tweeps. And guys, how has the event been for you today?
Yeah, it's very good, and this is my third time at Twitter Pixel, so and every year it's getting bigger and bigger, and this time is the biggest so far, and I really love it here. Yeah.
How about you? Is this your first time?
Yeah, it's my first time here, and it's been awesome. Apart from the weather, everything's awesome. Yeah.
So, have you met a lot of the people who've been interacting with online?
Yeah, it's the faces that you don't really see, but we tweet on handles and all that. To see them in real life, it's awesome.
This is my second time. It's awesome, really awesome. I meet lot of them at
users, the handlers, you get to meet them.
Without handlers and really face-to-face meetup.
So how has this experience been for you as well?
I'm the first time here, but we are in the same uni, but I actually met him for the first time here, which is kind of awkward.
That is awkward. That is awkward. Alright, so a first timer to Tweet Up SL, we have Surushi. Hi.
Hi.
How has the experience been for you?
It's good. It's really good. It's different. There are a lot of different people. So yeah.
So how has the moment been when you meet that person who you've been interacting with online for the first time?
It's exciting. You just go screaming towards them and just hug them and greet them. Yeah.
So we'll be seeing you maybe for the next year's one, hopefully?
Yes, definitely.
And what's the most memorable moment of today for you?
I guess the award ceremony and the dancing.
Dancing as well, alright. And you didn't try out any of the other activities which you have on the carnival atmosphere?
No, I just kept away and kept laughing at the other people, It's fun.
Alright, so you're tweeting and taking pictures and enjoying yourself as well. Was quite the experience, Tweet Up SL5, and that's the first time I've actually attended one of these events. The really cool part is when you actually get to meet the people you've been interacting with online, and in that digital sphere, as much as a very close community, you just tend to be able to make that connection a bit closer when you meet them in person. Great activities took place here. The Bull, Ouch. And of course, if you've missed out on it this time around, there'll certainly be another one next year. And also don't forget to find us on our Facebook page. That is www.facebook.com/OutAndAbout MTV Sports, where you can find bloopers to the works to many other great things, which are courtesy our producer, who has nothing better to do but to be constantly on Facebook stalking all of us and trying to come up with stuff to also make us all look extremely bad. Right, okay?